I dozed off there for a second, but how we doing? Again? All right. Welcome. It's Spiritualist Joseph, and today is November the 19th. You want to clap for that? I guess. Good evening or afternoon, depending on where you're at. This is Spiritualist Joseph the Psychic in San Antonio, Texas. This is my third attempt today to do my podcast. My first two had some kind of difficulties in them, and I was forced. That little guy there sticking up. Shoot him here in a minute. Anyway, it had a buzzing sound in it, so I had to take it off. So bear with me as I try for the third time today to get my podcast out. Welcome to all of you that have joined me. And remember, you can call 210-607-7319 if you have a question or you'd like to talk. Also, if you want to send me a question, you can email me at email me at psychjoseph, capital SATX, at gmail.com. That's psychjoseph, capital SATX, at gmail.com. At that point, leave me a message as to how you want me to reply with your answer, whether it would be just email you back or talk about it on my next podcast. And let me know if you're willing for me to use your name, just the first name, not the last name. I won't discuss anything private. But first time's free. If you decide you want to talk to me some more, there's a little fee. You got to grease the palm. The Lord's help is free. The psychic help. I did a little something for my time. So, not looking to get rich. $1,000. I'm just kidding, not $1,000, but a little something. I have people to come see me here, and I tell them my fee over the phone. I tell them when they get here what the fee is. So now that's my fee. But you pay me what you can afford. If that's money you don't have to spend, then don't give it to me. Send me some clients, and they'll make up what you can't give me. And then you wind up getting free time next time. So I have a basket over in the counter over there on my gondola there that they put the money in. We go with that. Sometimes I have people that can't afford it. If they need some spiritual help, psychic help, whatever you want to call it. Got my cord here all tangled up. We'll work with it. So once again, welcome. Thank you for coming in, being part of our audience. Get this ball. Well, today, again, is November 19th. And I want to wish all of you that were born today a very happy birthday, including my grandson who's up in Tennessee with fiance. Today's his birthday. And I have a cousin named Robert Ozuna Jr. And happy birthday to you, my friend. May the Lord bless you and keep you safe. And may he heal any pains you may have and help you with your finances so that the rest of your life will be blessed. Keep your faith, keep your strength, and everything works out. With that said, if you were born today, November the 19th, a man or woman, you are success oriented. You're success oriented, yet with a tiny difference. Because you that were born on the 19th have a strongly moralistic right. You born on this day, man or woman, will never compromise your beliefs, in order to meet your worldly criteria of success. You'll never, ever compromise. You're all about success, no matter what. You never compromise in order to meet worthy criteria. Okay? Remember that. Instead, you're determined to do things your own way, achieving your goals regardless of the obstacles that may stand in your path. No matter what obstacles get in your way, you are determined to make it happen. You that are born to realize until later in life that your accomplishments, though loud, are best when shared with someone close to you. You might say, excuse me, you go right. You might say, what do you mean? Well, your success. You will never feel satisfied or successful unless you have someone to share it with. Someone that you can reach over and say, look what I did. Look what I did. And for that person to reach over and say, look what you did. Golly, you did it. I knew you could do it. It's that love between the two of you. Your man, woman, someone that's there for your feeling, for your need. Then you will feel your success. It's very important. Give me just a second. Don't go away. Gotta grab something. I like having a little sound in the background. Otherwise, it's just a little too quiet in here for me. But back to what we're talking about. So you got to have that person close to you, someone that you know is going to root for you, someone that you can hug and feel that they believed in you. That's the only way. I'm a little fidgety because it's been a long day, and this is my third time trying to put this together. This is why I'm recording and not going 100% live yet. Now, I also want to share with you your embrace today. What to embrace or what you should have embraced. I put this out early this morning, but it got blowed out of some kind of noise, and I hope I got rid of it. You should have embraced today your talent, your independence, and your resolution. Your resolution. You also needed to avoid that security blanket, that security mentality. Mentality. Damn, can get it out there. In other words, that security blanket. Oh, no, 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 I can't do that. I might fail. They might laugh at me. Hell, you might be laughing at me right now. I don't care. I can't see you. 100 years from now, it won't make a damn. I'll be long gone. I don't care. But you gotta get rid of that security mentality that you have to stay in that safe zone. As long as it ain't gonna cost your life, you'll be all right. You'll recover. You'll be successful. And quit being blunt with people. Okay? Don't make blunt remarks to strangers and people, not because you hurt their feelings, but because sometimes it comes across and it makes you look bad. My brother, my older brother, God bless him, he passed away a couple of years back, but he was quick, kind of like Uncle Trump. He was quick to say what was on his mind without thinking about it, and sometimes it's very blunt and very, well, it will make some people feel bad. Oh, you see what he said to me? Yeah, but he's my brother. He talks like he doesn't mean it. He just doesn't think before he speaks, which is fine. President Trump spoke what he had in his mind. And sometimes I think it's better to get it out there and say it than to hold it back. But not everybody thinks like that. You got that woke generation. Oh, don't say that. Somebody might hear you. Well, I don't want to get into politics. That's not what I'm here about. I hear enough about that. Now, you want to avoid that security blanket, that security mentality. Avoid the blunt remark as much as you can. Sometimes you can't hold it back. And also injustice. Well, you see what that guy did? Oh my God! If I no, step back, look at it. Well, could have done it different. I would have done it different, and move on. We can't be the judge all the time. You know, if the Lord was judge all the time, we'd all be struck down by lightning. Wouldn't be nobody left on the earth. But He sent His Son to take our place. It won't hurt for us to be a little more justful. Now, you got to know that today you had a lot of people born, important people, on your day, November the 19th, Scorpio. Talk show host Dick Cavett. I was too young when he was on TV. It really had nothing for him. I knew of him. But there again, England's King Charles I. You're up there with royalty. King Charles I. He was a bit of a scoundrel if you read up on him. He was tough. But he didn't get there by being a nice guy. He was ruthless and resolved. Actress, director, Judy Foster. Ooh. You know Judy Foster? Hey, she's a great actor in my book. Talk show host Larry King. Some of you may be too young to know who Larry King was. Some of you aren't. My dad enjoyed his show, but sometimes he confused me. He could be for something right at this moment, bada, 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 and all of a sudden, so I never knew which direction he was going. I think he was trying to keep himself safe either way. But that was talk show host Larry King. He recently passed away. God bless him. It happens to him. Then designer Calvin Klein. How about that? You share it today with Calvin Klein, probably wearing his underwear or underclothes of some kind. Maybe his pants are short. Of course, if his name sticks out, he should be paying you for advertisement. I never figured that out. I had a guy one time running around his big old letters, beautiful Western shirt. I thought it was a wonderful shirt, but it said Tommy across the top, big 4-inch letters, Tommy with a red background. Destroyed that beautiful Western shirt. He said, "Why do you keep calling him Tommy? My name is not Tommy." Well, your shirt says Tommy in big letters. I thought that was your name. Certainly, you wouldn't wear a shirt with some other guy's name unless that's your boyfriend or your son. No, I knew who it was. I want to advertise to somebody. They need to send me a check or give it to me for free. That's a whole nother story I can get in. But anyway, Calvin Klein, an actress, Kathleen Quino. Never heard of her. But you share with her. Now, back in 1995, I was in a movie. I was an extra. I was in the whole thing from the beginning, well, about midway to the end, because the beginning was filmed up by Houston, up by Lake Charles in some areas. There was a couple of actors there that I really enjoyed meeting. I hooked up with some guys, Jim and a couple other guys who were actual full-time Gilder Union extras, but they were professional extras. And we got talking. I wound up hanging out with them. I wound up in a bunch of good parts and got my face on the screen without realizing it. Didn't make me a movie star, but anyway, I was there. And it was in the 1800s. And we broke for lunch. And they had this big old tent. You could go in there and get chicken fried steak, T-bone steak. You could get caviar. Anything you wanted. Didn't cost you a dime. It was paid for by TNT and Sunshine Productions. They had it out. There's only one guy, the main star. I won't say his name, but he had his own trailer. He had his own chef. You wouldn't see him till it was time to film. Then he'd come out. Oh, oh, oh. But anyway, he was there. So Jim and I and the other two gentlemen, I can't remember the name. I think one of them had the last name of Delgado. We were sitting at the table eating and talking, and they were telling me if I stick with them that I'll be in, since they are union, their faces will come out. If I'm with them, hey, they'll capture me a couple times. That's great. Well, all of a sudden I heard a voice. We all heard a voice. Somebody sitting in this side. There were picnic tables, about 6 foot long or more. We looked up. No, but we can move. Jim told him. Why, you too good to eat with us? I started laughing. I said, no, we're not too good to eat with you. We'll sit with you. They sit down. Gary Busey introduced himself. I said, we know who you are. Sam Elliott. I know who you are. Meg Ryan. And you share your birthday today with Meg Ryan. Very tiny, a very down-to-earth young lady she was. And she made some jokes, and she cackled, and she carried on. And Sam and Gary Busey were just everyday people. Sitting there, talking about the food, talking about some stuff they saw that looked like horse manure more than did food, but that's why they got the barbecue. They could see that. But we had a good time. But I got to meet Meg Ryan. I'd seen her in many movies, loved her acting. She had the smallest little hands. You ever go downtown where the Hard Rock Cafe used to be? Across the street's another little restaurant. And I think it was the Pyramid or something at one time, but her handprints there. You can see how tiny her hands were. They were very tiny hands. But she was a very, very sweet person. And they all three spoke to us like everyday people. Matter of fact, a few days later, we were shooting a scene where we were starting to attack the enemy. And we went on. We were back and forth, explosion after explosion. And then finally, they blew the whistle. Break time, lunch. Break time, restaurant, and then go to lunch. Well, they had 6 portable urinals out there. And I ran like I never ran before because, like everybody else, we ate breakfast, but we hadn't been able to stop for nothing. They even said, if you got to urinate, just pretend you're at war and urinate. You can always get cleaned up. You got other uniforms. But I got in line at one of the one of the outhouses, portable restroom, whatever you want to call it. And I'm waiting. Oh my God, there's somebody in there, and I look at the other ones, and the lines are long, and there's a long line behind me already. And this guy taps on my shoulder. Who? Somebody in there? I said, yeah, there's somebody in there. Finally, about that time, the door unlocked. You can hear that click. Okay, all right. This guy comes walking out, and he bends down, has his hat in his hand, because it was a Western, and he stands up, and he says, here, you're going to need these. Let me be the first to tell you, my shit does stink. You're going to need these matches. I looked up and I said, yes, sir. And now every time I see a movie with this man in it, I remember that day. It's a hell of a thing to remember, but I remember that. Sam Elliott, one of the nicest men I'd ever met. Very down to earth. And every time I see him in a movie, that's the first thing I remember. That man gave me matches. I don't mean nothing bad by it. I just mean he was a real down to earth person. Star of the movie, well, I won't even mention his name. He was thick in the mud. You can't even see a height to him. It's just the way he was. But Mick Ryan, here's your birthday today, and you're multimillionaire No, not Donald Trump, but close. Ted Turner. So you're accompanied by many, many well-to-do, well-off people, and they all had the same determination to do something with their life, and they did. So God bless you. If your birthday's today, how about everybody? Let's give them a great big cheer. All right, that's good. Happy birthday. May the Lord bless you and keep you safe. May He shine His healing light over you, heal your ailments, heal your pains, and help you gain financial freedom somehow. Keep your faith, and the rest will come. Lose your faith, and you won't find your direction as easy. Trust me. And the spirits will tell me, go out and buy you a $5 scratch it. You might be lucky. Might win your $5 back. You might come out a little more prosperous. Take advantage. And again, I want to say happy birthday to my grandson, Sheldon, and my cousin, Robert O.Z. Jr. Happy birthday. And with that said, people look at me and say, well, how did you wind up doing this? What made you start doing doing this? I said, well, the problem is psyche doesn't know. He doesn't know. She doesn't know. My first experience, I was 10 years old. And I probably had many before that, but just didn't realize. Thought of them as deja vu, I guess. But in 1962, I believe it was, my dad came back from Korea. He was in the Army. That weekend, I think it was a Saturday morning, because Sundays, everything was closed back then. And he came into the bedroom, my older brother and I were lying down. He always took my older brother first, or picked him first for anything. And he looked over and says, Junior, you want to go to the grocery store with me? Son, I got to go get some stuff for your mom for the kitchen for breakfast. He rolled over, fell over and said, I'm tired, I'm sleepy. Or something like that. Basically told my dad, I'm not going. He said, well, I guess that's Bobby. I pretended to still be asleep. You want to go to the grocery store, Dad? I'm thinking, go with Dad. He's got a little money. I might be able to get him to buy me a soda or some candy. You bet. And I jumped out of that bed, grabbed my trousers and a shirt and my shoes, waxed my boots, put them on, and I'm ready to go. Well, before you know it, we were at the grocery store, Deluxe Supermarket in South Flores in Brighton Street. Brand new supermarket. I think it's a Fiesta or something today. Back then it was Deluxe. So we get there and we're getting ready to walk into the store. And my dad steps on this rubber mat in front of the door and the door opened. Whoa! He backed up and the door closed. Stepped on it again, it opened. He says, what the hell is this? It was new. It was different. He hadn't seen it. We'd seen it. We'd been there several times. That was one of my mother's favorite stores to go to because it was close to the house. And prices were reasonable. Believe it or not, 5 pounds of hamburger for $1. How about this shit? Try to find that today. What happened? But anyway, he did it 3, 4 times, maybe 5 times, and this guy walks out on the outside. The door opens up. He looks over at him. My dad's name was August. The man says, Augie? Augie Sheldon? I'd never heard anybody call him Augie. And I looked over. My dad says, and you are? Who are you? Something like that. And then they started talking about boot camp. I said, oh, yeah. But it's kind of like, I really don't remember it. Okay, hi. And they got talking, and then my dad finally recognized him. They talked about certain things, and that made it click. And finally, there's people starting to gather behind him to get out, and behind us to get in. And I said, you know what, we're going to get going. By the way, this is my son, Bobby Joe, my given name, Bobby Joe. And he looked at me and gave me that eyebrow. So I reached up, I knew what he wanted. I wanted to shake his hand, so I reached up. The minute I grabbed his hand, I saw the most horrible thing. And I couldn't tell my dad. I jerked back, put my hand down by my side, and got up close to him. And the man said, "It's okay. Well, I got to go." Yeah, my dad said, "We got to go too. My wife's waiting for us to get home with these groceries." So keep in touch. I think they exchanged addresses. We didn't have a phone then. Not everybody had phones. So we went on to the grocery store, and my dad's eyebrow was like way up there, kind of like the rock was cooking. He would pick up every bottle, everything, read the label. They didn't have much information, but he would read them, put it down, go to the next one. Then he stopped and looked at me. I can't believe that you embarrassed me that way. Um, but Dad, he scared me. How could he scare you? I was there with you. What in the world could he have done to you? Well, he scared me. The reason I never told my dad because I was afraid he might think I was some little fruitcake. Which when I grabbed that man's hand, I saw his face slumped over the stern wheel, glass all over it, blood running everywhere. The front of his car looked like it'd been in a war. I didn't tell my dad. He said, "Well, I'll deal with you when we get home." So we proceeded to get the stuff, and we walked out after about 45 minutes or less. Walked out of the store, and you could hear sirens. Not the kind you hear today. It's just, but anyway, my dad looked over there. It looked like there's a bad wreck or something over in the corner. So he grabbed my hand. He's dragging me basically with my little 10-year-old legs. I wasn't very tall then. Get to the old rambler, throws everything in there. Says, "Come on." He's dragging me again to the wreck site. He's trying to look where the officer stopped him and told him something like, "You can't go over there, or he's still here, or whatever." And my dad told him, and said, "I think I know that man. We were in the army together. I think that's my friend." He said, "Well, go over there. If he is, go over there and keep him company. I already called an ambulance. So keep him awake. I got to keep the traffic flowing. I got to keep people awake." So we walked over there, and I stood up my tiptoes, trying to look in the window. When I did, there was that man with his head over the steering wheel. I think he had like a 59 Pontiac or something like that. Had the little curved pin in the back of the round tail light. Front end was smashed in, the door smashed in. His head's laying over the steering wheel. Chunks of glass, blood coming out. I could not believe it. I had just seen that an hour before. That's when I realized something was different about me. How many times did I see something like that and it just slipped by me? Didn't pay no never mind to it. Unbelievable. So that's when I recognized my ability. There were more to come after that. Let me remind you, if you'd like to call in, you can call 210-607-7319. Or if you want to email me a question, I'll be glad to respond to you. Just let me know if you want me to respond on my next podcast, or if you want to just email you back with an answer. Email psychjoseph, capital SATX, @gmail.com. I want to thank you for being here and listening in. And I would love any kind of responses that will help me improve. Yes, I am a psychic. I had another instant where I was up in, I think I spoke about this yesterday, so I won't mention it now. I don't want to repeat myself. I had a group of ladies call me up one day. Well, a lady that represented this group of ladies, it's like an auxiliary club or something, and asked me if I could come out and be part of their ladies out night. I said, "Well, I'm not a lady." "No, no, no. but we'd like for you to come out and do a reading for everybody. We'll pay you. And I said, well, where's this going to be? He said, well, it's about 30 miles going up by San Marcos, Texas. I said, well, okay. Well, normally if I do that here in town, it's X amount of dollars. Uh, you want me to drive out there, it's going to be X amount of dollars. You might as well double it. How many people? I'm expecting 28. Well, X amount of dollars, 25, and we'll go from there. That's included. I'll do up to 30 people for you for that price. Fair enough. Gave me the information, and told her when I get there, you pay me up front. See, I'll do better than that. Give me your address, and I'll mail you the money. I'll mail you a money order. I said, I don't like money orders, but I do have a PayPal account. You can pay me there. We'll go from there. I'll send you a receipt. So I did. When the time came, I asked my daughter, Bobby, if she would be my assistant. So we drove out there, had everything that I usually take with me. And GPS get us right to the place out in the middle of nowhere. I could see the bonfire going like she said she would have. I'll have a big bonfire going. And it was early April, so it was still kind of cool. They had all these chairs around this bonfire. They had a barbecue pit going. And, just a bunch of young women and beautiful gooseneck travel home. And we pulled up, and I stopped behind, where the other cars are, and I walked out. Daughter Bobby came with me, and I said, I'm looking for so and so. And she goes, the lady jumps up and says, are you Joseph, Spiritualist Joseph, the psychic? Yes, I am. Oh, you're early, but thank God. We're going to have you set up inside this trailer. We rented that trailer just for you. You're going to use the master bedroom because it has a restroom. You have your own privacy there. And you can sit up in there. And if your daughter wants to sit up in the living room, because we're using the kitchen for our food and stuff and our drinks, but she can sit up in the small living room area and have a sign-in sheet or whatever she needs to do. And feel free to have food, anything you want. Did you get your money okay? I said, yes, ma'am, I did. Thank you very much. You get your receipt. Matter of fact, I did get it. I forgot. Thank you. I said, well, my daughter, while I'm setting up, we'll get everybody to sign up. You'll be called in the order to sign up, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Now, I don't remember everybody's conversation. I guess only the ones that stick out that had a big what to do or a big effect. I told the person that hired me, I told Bobby, get her in here first, since she's the one that hired me. Well, she said, no, I want my friends to go first. My guests go first, and then I'll go. Okay, that's fine. You can do that. So I did 3 or 4 or 5, I guess. They were happy. I had asked Bobby to ask them on their way out if they wouldn't mind being recorded on a video and give their testimony or a short what they thought about it, and then get them to sign a letter giving me permission to post it on my website and on YouTube. And they, for the biggest part, they all did. But I couldn't get the video to work on YouTube, and I couldn't get it to work on my Facebook page, and I couldn't get it to load up on my uh, website. It didn't meet the criteria. Apparently, my recorder was too old. It's still here somewhere. But anyway, about the 5th or 6th, my daughter walks her in and says, Dad, this is such person. I said, come on in. I'm Spiritualist Joseph, known as a psychic and a medium. And have a seat. She sat down. I said, do you believe in Jesus Christ, the Almighty Father? No, I don't believe in God. I'm not atheist. I said, well, then I want to thank you for coming in and saying hello, and we'll stop here. Well, you're not going to read for me? No, because I won't do any of this without a prayer to the Lord to protect myself when I go into the spirit world. Well, I pitched in. I said, well, I'll make sure you get your money back then before I leave. I'll write you a check for the amount you paid. Really? Really? Well, you know what? I grew up Catholic. If you want me to indulge you in prayer, all right, I'll say a prayer with you if that'll. Okay, well, I don't want to force you into something you don't want to do, but that'd be great. So I did my prayer, offer protection while I stepped into the spirit world, da da da. And I looked at us, well, everybody's getting 12 minutes. We've used up about 4 minutes, blah, blahing around. So let me ask you, with the remaining time, is there any question in your life that you want to ask that would be important to you if you get an answer on? No, you're the psychic. You tell me. I've never done this before. Okay. Tester, I guess. I said, well, I'll tell you what. I got to share something with you right now. He says, what would that be? I got somebody standing here next to you. Got my cord all tangled up. I apologize. I got somebody standing here next to you. Tall, probably about 6'2", 6'3", thin, silver beard, a little better filled out and groomed. I said, he has a flat top, silver flat top, almost like a military haircut. There's that guy right there just bugging me. Sorry about that. What? Wasn't that funny? Just silver hair there hanging out. Anyway, he had a silver flat top. Describing my dad. I said, well, we'll see. He wants me to ask you. Actually, he wants me to apologize to you. Apologize. Oh, took the wire there. He said he's sorry that he couldn't clean it up. Couldn't clean it up. Said he, fat cat was playing with him, running around, and she finally jumped up on the counter. She knocked off a container with blue liquid, and it fell to the floor. And it made a mess on the floor and everything. He tried to clean it, but his fingers would just sloof through it and wouldn't even touch it. She said, oh my God, that just happened Wednesday, this past Wednesday. I said, let me remind you, and I pat her on the hand, you don't have a God. You're an atheist, remember? Well, yeah, but we have a cat, and her name is Fat Cat. And we could hear her. It was about 1:32 in the morning. We could hear her running around. I mean, my husband said she's going to tear something up. What's going on with her? But she woke him up. And when she knocked that thing down, we both got up to go see what the ruckus was. And there's that blue hand cleaner everywhere. My husband brought a couple of containers from work, put one by the kitchen sink and one in the hallway restroom, so that reach under there, get your soap, wash your hands, and you're done. But Fat Cat was running around, and I guess she ran into it, and it fell over, and everything spilled out onto the counter and the floor, and it took forever to clean it up. I think we were up till 3:30 cleaning it up. It was such a mess. And I said, well, that's what he said. The Fat Cat jumped up on the counter, and she was just carrying on, and she slid into it. It fell over, and everything went everywhere. But he's sorry. He tried to clean it, but he couldn't even. His fingers would sloof through it. It wouldn't. That's my dad. I said, yeah, that's their way of letting you know I'm around. I'm here for you. He also wants to know why you didn't buy that silver car the other day. You bought the maroon one. He hates maroon. He hates red. But that silver was nice. Well, he did hate red. He hated maroon. And I hate silver because the car looks like it's never been painted. And she looks around the room. I see he's standing next to you. Now, just so you know, he wants me to ask you, actually, he wants me to tell you that his most favorite, enjoyable day with you when you were little, so you were 5 or 6, maybe 7, but y'all had gone to Colorado and you were in this river, gravel bottom. The water for him was about ankle deep, but for you it was almost up to your knees. You were so small. But you kept screaming at him, and you kept hugging his leg. You kept telling him, Daddy, I'm going to fall, I'm going to drown. Daddy, I'm going to fall, I'm going to drown. And you just kept squeezing him with all your love and thought. He said, that is one thing I never forget. She got teary eyed. She said, oh my God, Dad. And I pat her on the hand again. I said, remember, you don't have a God. You're atheist. You don't have to keep reminding me, sir. I said, well, I'm just telling you. So you didn't get the car, and you did that. How do you know this? How can you know that? I said, I don't know this. That person you said is your dad is asking me and telling me. Now he just asked me to ask you. If you remember the time that y'all were parked by the cliff and you made your dad park way away from the cliff in the parking lot. So they all had to walk a good ways to the cliff because you were afraid you were going to fall in no matter what. You did not want nothing to do with this cliff. I thought it was kind of funny, but do you remember that? He says, I want to say I was 17. It was another vacation we went on. This time we went to the Grand Canyon. And I would not get out of the car because I was so sure that if I got close to that cliff, I was going to fall in. I mean, I could see it from where I was at, and my gut would just twist. This is my dad. She started getting teary eyed because there's no way you can know this stuff. Nobody would know this stuff but my dad. I said, well, I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but sometimes that's the way the people that have passed on let their family know, hey, I'm here. I'm around you. Try to be there for you the best I can. And sometimes they can't really interfere with your life, but sometimes they are able to get a message across. He does have one other thing he said. We should get rid of that sofa you brought home not long ago. It's like sleeping on a box. Really, I didn't know that ghosts slept or laid down, but apparently he says it's like sleeping in a box. He started laughing. Oh my God. My husband tells me that all the time. He said, I hate that sofa. If I lay on it, it's like laying on a box. I tell him, we want to lay down, go get in the bed. Well, there you go. The buzzer went off. My daughter come in. Dad, time's up. So I told her, well, let's say a closing prayer. Thank the Lord for the time you had with your father. It was a pleasure visiting with you. Yeah, I still don't understand how you knew all this stuff because you couldn't have known it. My friends don't know it, but you knew it. As I already told you, your father was here with you, visiting. You didn't know what you wanted when you came in, but you found out, right? Good luck, God bless, and so forth. And she left. And then I read for a few more girls, and they were all happy. My daughter recorded a bunch of them. And then just before the end, another lady come in, big old, looked like a guy almost. I'm walking in, and Bobby Joe introduced me. How you doing? I'm Spiritualist Joseph, known as a psychic, a medium, and so forth. And do you believe in God? Jesus Christ, can you join me in prayer? Oh, no, 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 no. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God or any of that nonsense. I said, well, let me say thank you for stopping in and introducing yourself. I hope you have a wonderful evening. I know they got a lot of good food out there. It smells good, so enjoy yourself. You're not going to read for me? No, I do everything to the Holy Spirit, and I won't do it otherwise. So let's just call it a night, and you'll be fine. Well, but it ain't going to work. or that ain't going to happen, or something like that. What do you want to do? Well, I'll say a prayer with you. I mean, I grew up a Baptist. I just don't believe it. Well, then why are you here? Why are you pitched in? Well, then let's say a little prayer. So I said my prayer of guidance and protection. This is, you got 12 minutes. And in that 12 minutes, is there a question in your life that you'd like answered? No, just like the other girl. Aren't you the psychic? You tell me. So I got another tester. All right, I'll tell you. The doubts you have about the man you're with, I guess it's your fiance or you just got married or you're going to get married, get rid of him. The man loves you, cares for you. And I see in your life you wanted to move to, looks like Montana. See a log cabin, a lot of ice and snow. You must like the snow. She says, well, how do you know that? That's my fiance's parents own that land and that log. They're in Montana by Laramie. Laramie? No, that's Wyoming. Wyoming. I'm sorry, not Montana. Wyoming. And that's where we're going to live because he's going to work there in Laramie, and he'll drive out. The law firm he was going to work for is in Laramie, and then we'll live out there in the log cabin. It's very modern, but it is a log cabin. But we have our own generator in case the power goes out. We have our own well. It's really nice. I like it. And you're right. I had some doubts about him sometimes. He does work a lot, and sometimes he doesn't come home. That's what at the end he's there. Oh yeah. Well, I don't see anything negative about him. Have faith. Everything's going to be okay. Good luck living in Wyoming. So we were done. She was happy, and she left. I never heard anything back about her, but I'm assuming life went on and she was happy. So with that said, it's going on an hour already, and don't want to bore anybody. So once again, you're welcome to send a message by email or live right now. Type it in. Or you can call me at 210-607-7319 or email me at psychicjoseph, capital SATX, at gmail.com. And for those of you that are here and it ain't your birthday, wait a minute. Let's go back up to that one lady I was talking about there at the end. There was one thing I forgot. I also remember it was the lady before her. Was being kind of a tester herself. And I said, yeah, it was the young lady before her. I know you said you don't have a question, but you said I'm the psychic. I need to tell you, you don't talk to your mother. You've been in the house with your mother for a very long time. But your mother thinks about you every moment. And right now, she needs you more than anything in the world. Come back and say hi. You haven't spoke to her, but she needs you. Take a moment and call her and check in. The lady looked at me and said, I just heard from my sister. She lives in Florida, Pensacola. And she told me that my mother's been real sick. She's asked for me, but I've been scared to go because it's been so long. I left home when I was 17, 18 years old and never went back, never called. I figured if I did, I would get an earful or she wouldn't have nothing to do with it. That's where you're wrong. She misses you and needs you. Take a moment, call her, let her know you're okay, or go see her. You'd be happy to hear from you. Wow. There's no way you could have known that. That's what it just came across. And I shared a couple of other things with her. I can only assume that she went to see her mother and work things out. Her mother was not doing well. I picked up that the end of the line was very close. And that was the lady just before the last one was going to Wyoming. Well, with that said, I hope that you had a good time listening to me. Hope I wasn't too boring. When I do my pod shows, it's not going to be about me having you call me and do this, that, and the other. I'm going to share my stories. And if you want to ask questions about it, or if you want to send me a question and talk about it, you're more than welcome. And if you have a comment on how to make my pod show a little more interesting, feel free. Now, if you got something ugly or derogatory you want to say, throw it in a plastic bag, find a big old trash can, throw it in there. But for the rest of you, peace be with you, and the Lord watch over you, and may He help you overcome all your obstacles. And if you're feeling ill or bad, may the light of His shining strength shine on you. And God bless. Until next time, tomorrow, between 12 and 1. If nothing goes wrong, I'll talk to you again then. Till then, good night, good day, and happy birthday to one and all. Till next time, we'll see you then. Good night, y'all.